What's up, everybody? It is mid-May 2021, and Angie and I are here to provide a little market report. The challenge is, as Angie just said, it's a little bit hard out there.
For a pimp. Okay, I didn't mean to say pimp. I meant to say realtor.
Realtor. All right. So let's start with, we're going to track 4 key statistics that we look at to determine the health of the market. Currently, year over year, so from May 2020 to May 2021, the average price in the city of Las Vegas, drum roll, has gone up 17.2%.
Wow.
It's currently sitting at $340,000. So, I mean, that's tough. So you got into the market when, Ange? When did you get licensed?
2018?
Like February 2018?
October.
October, right?
Yep, right on Halloween.
So October 2018, the average price was $275. So we're up $65,000 in the last 2 years, average. So that's mansions, shacks, condos, everything in between.
So
$65,000.
that's crazy, because as we say, you know, when we're out shopping with our clients, you know, some people are like, this is too small. I said to them, don't worry, you'll probably want to sell in 2 to 3 years.
And move up.
And right, and now, guess what's happening? You want to sell, buy a bigger house, you can totally do it because you have the equity in there, right?
Well, and the cool thing is, this is why it's not just a seller's market, because on a buyer's perspective, who owns a home, yes, they benefit from being a seller and all the value that's gone up in their home, but interest rates are still really low, so they're able to probably, in some instances, keep their payment the same, but pick up a much bigger house and put some money in their pocket.
Yep.
So it's like, it's this weird market where it's highly seller-centric. The supply and demand laws tip toward the seller, but the buyers' interest rates are still so low that if they haven't refinanced, they could probably keep their payment about the same and put some money in their pocket if they sell and move up and buy a bigger home.
Yep. And we are still working in this place where to go out and buy the home, if you're a seller buying, you're in a good position because you're going to need that extra money. We're out there trying to help all of our buyers, and you have your down payment, you have your closing costs, but you still need, you know, to buy a house that you and everybody else likes, you still need minimum $10,000 to make that purchase. We can't sugarcoat that because that's really what's happening right now.
It's true. All right, key statistic number 2 is days on market. So from last year until now, the average number of days a home sits on the market is down 53% to 7 days.
Woof. I know. It's seriously, when you see that house on the market that just popped on and you're calling me or you're calling Joe and saying like, hey, I want to see that right now. Chances are, like, I was looking at a house for myself today, 4 days on the market, they already have 2 offers and they're expecting 1 more. And the other thing is, a lot of the sellers are not accepting offers the first day. They're going to wait 7 days to see what they get.
Yeah. So when you came in October 2018, that's going to be our North Star, is Angie entering in the market. So in the last 2 years, 2.5 years, it went from 19 days on average to 7 days on average.
Yep.
So it's gone down, you know, it's gone down 60%, 70% since she got into the marketplace.
That was such a different time. Those were the days where we could ask for closing costs and actually buy a new build when we walked in. Now, can't do that.
Well, and the funny thing is now home buyers are very realistic. It's a lot of them.
Yeah.
A year ago, 2 years ago, they would think, well, like, give me my closing costs, or that seller's, you know, unrealistic. Let's beat them up on this and this and this. And we used to go like, man, buyers don't see that the market has changed and they can't ask for everything.
Yeah.
Where now it's almost like buyers know they can't ask for everything. And so it makes your job a little bit easier, not because it makes it easier to get a home, but you're dealing probably with more realistic buyers.
Yeah, that's a super important thing when you go out to buy a house. Make sure you understand the terms that are being thrown at you. Like, you need to understand what it means to waive the appraisal. That does not mean that you're not paying for the appraisal. You still have to pay for the appraisal, and you're gonna pay above.
Right.
Super, super important you understand what you're signing, and that's part of our job, but the way that it sounds is not what's actually happening.
It's true. Key market stat number 3 that we look at and like to talk about is down 67% from last year, and that is average month's supply. So a 6-month supply of homes, if there were 20 people every year that bought homes, it means 10 people buy a home every 6 months. So if we had 10 homes on the market, then we would have 6 months of supply. Make sense? So 20 homes sold over the course of a year. Right now, we have 1 month supply of homes, meaning if there's 20 people that buy homes every year, we would only have enough home for, the market to recycle every 1 month, which is crazy. So there is, a certain number of transactions happening on a monthly basis, and there's an equal number of those monthly homes coming on the market. A healthy market would have 6 months of supply, meaning at the current rate, if nobody else listed their home, we would run out of homes in 6 months. Right now at the current rate, if nobody else lists their home, every home will be off the market in a month. So the supply, the 1 month supply is not ideal if you're a home buyer, but it's a great stat if you're a home seller, because you know that worst case scenario, your home's going to be gone in a month. And just like toilet paper and gas, lack of supply creates crazy demand on behalf of the buyer.
Now, Joe, do we think we have some good news coming up with the moratorium being lifted? Is this going to be good news? Are people going to be selling and renters coming out, and maybe renters, now that they can buy, that the interest rates are lower, they can afford the same monthly mortgage as they could rent? So why not do
Sounds
that?
awesome.
You think that could happen? We don't know.
I think so. I mean, I also think, like there could be UFOs over LA, but it turns out it's just Elon Musk doing some stuff. I would love to ride the Loch Ness Monster. I think that'd be awesome. So the reason I say all that is I've been hearing for years, forget about the moratorium inventory. I'm still waiting for the shadow inventory from the foreclosure crisis of 12, 13, 14 years ago. We've heard there's this shadow inventory of homes that are going to flood the market and kill the home values, and it never came. So I personally know there are people who are holding over in homes that they're renting, and the landlord's trying to get them out.
Yeah.
At some point, the landlord will succeed and we'll get some more inventory. Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's say we get 4 times as many homes hit the market, and people say the sky is falling. There's 4 times as many homes being listed today as there were yesterday. Okay, that now gives us 4 months of inventory. Bad news, it's still a seller's market, because we could have 6 months worth of inventory and it be an even market. In order to get to a seller's disadvantage, so a buyer's market, we'd have to have 7 months of inventory. So in theory, we could have 7 times as many homes on the market before it becomes a buyer's market.
So we need to go over half. And the other thing that's happening is, if folks are selling their houses, they're your competition out there in the buyer's field. And they already know, because they are sitting in that seat right now, what they're going to have to do. And they're taking that equity out of their home and applying it on top of the price.
Exactly, because the number of people coming from Nevada, from Vegas, and saying, I'm going to sell my home and move to a highly taxed, poorly run state like California is very rare. It's very rare right now that we're hearing people go, I want to pay income tax, so I'm moving to California. I want terrible infrastructure, so I'm moving to California. No offense to California, I love it. I come down to the beaches all the time. But as I'm driving through Barstow and Baker and Victorville, I'm like, dude, why do these people live in the middle of the desert and pay state income tax? They could come live in the middle of the desert and not pay state income tax. And so we're not seeing people go, I'm out, I'm moving to California. We're seeing people from California go, I'm out, I'm moving to Las Vegas, and I'm going to work remotely. And so, like Angie said, most home sellers are becoming home buyer competition.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just straight adding homes onto the market.
Right. So we have California competition, we have a lot of Arizona competition, and then the people that are deciding to sell and dip into this bidding war situation that we're dealing with, all of these people are out there buying.
Yeah.
And literally, there are a lot of people selling, even though it doesn't feel that way.
Right.
I feel like in the last 2 weeks, I've had 4 to 5 people reaching out to want to list their
Right,
home.
right.
So it is still something that is a great idea to do, even if while you're looking for your house, you might have to get a rental. That's what a lot
Sure.
of people are talking about doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, key market stat number 3 is percentage of sales to list price. This is a fun one. So right now, if you list your home and you pick your list price, there is a very, very high likelihood that you are going to get 100% of your list price for your home. Right now, the average in Vegas is sales price to list price, 100%, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are going over, a few of them are going under, but just to let you know where the market was at when Angie came in October, it was 99.2. So it was still pretty high list to sales price. The difference was people used to list homes for what they were actually worth.
Yeah. Well,
right now it's not list price, sales price to value, it's list price to sales price, because home buyers will pay whatever the list price is for the most part.
Right. So if the house is listed at the average 344, even if the appraisal comes in at 330, that buyer's going to make up the difference because they don't want to start over with this process. That's what's going on. So it's driving the market up.
Yeah. And people like myself who have no intention to move, I just changed out our grass and put in synthetic grass. I call it synthetic grass, it's actually a putting green. We're burying our trampoline, we painted our cabinets. Like, I have no desire to move, but at some point, I almost become crazy to not think of it. And
There's
that's where
people like me.
people like you who are like, I love my home, but man, I bought it for X, I can sell it for X, Y, and Z, so why don't I sell it and go buy something else? But the problem is that buying something else.
That buying something, we'll see how that goes.
Angie's gonna go buy a house today, watch.
That does say something. If I'm willing to buy a home, buyers out there, don't be scared to look, because that interest rate is low. The interest rate that I bought my house at, I won't even say it, but it was almost double than what I can get now. So would I think about it? Of course.
Yeah.
Because my payment is gonna be almost the same as I bought my house at the time, and now I can get a bigger house for that same payment.
Right.
So why wouldn't I do that?
I love it.
Ah!
Key stat number 4, which I am really excited about this one. I'm really, really, really excited. We like to blame home sellers and say there's just not enough homes on the market. There's not enough inventory. Well, home sellers, pat yourself on the back. It's not your fault. More homes are being sold right now by 93% over where they were last year. And so right now, there's 4,800 homes closing on a monthly basis right now. If we go to May of 2020, so 1 year ago, there was only 2,100 homes sold. Now, for honesty purposes, that was like 2 months into the COVID, which, by the way, we don't wear masks. Angie and I are vaccinated.
I know,
It's
no masks!
awesome. So we're up 100% over last year, which is awesome. But last year was COVID. So let's just go May 2019. Well, we're still up about 20%. So May of 19 to May of 21, we're up about 19-20% in number of homes sold. So we're still selling a ton of homes.
Yeah.
It's not that there's no one listing their home. A lot of people are listing their home. The thing is, people have money, interest rates are low, so it's actually home buyers creating the demand, not a lack of supply. And I don't know that I had put 2 and 2 together on that. Like, we know a lot of people want to buy, but I've also been like, man, we need more listings, we need more listings.
Well, the struggle is real out there.
It
is
is.
when we're taking clients out, it's just tough. Even if you do have money,
Right.
you're getting turned down on your offers. You know, it might be most of my buyers, we've written 2 offers, and then like they get the feel for it and they're like, bam, and then we
Yeah.
do it. Like, so it's hard out there.
Yeah.
Even if you are willing to spend $30,000, sometimes it's not enough,
Right.
depending on the price point there. But again,
tough.
hard out there for
It's hard out there for a pimp. All right,
Like-
so, but the principle is there may be some hope on the horizon. That hope on the horizon comes in higher interest rates, which sounds insane. So if you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for your dream scenario because you don't have money to put down and like you're hoping to get a home, The good news would be if interest rates go up, there'll be less competition. The bad news is interest rates gone up and you're going to be able to afford less house. So pick your problem, I guess is the point. Like right now, the problem is it's hard to get a home, but the good news is interest rates are low, so your payment's low. If your problem then becomes interest rates go up, there's more homes available, well, the problem is now your payment's a little bit higher and you'll afford a little bit less home. Hope that makes sense. All right, Ange, let's close it out with my favorite part, which is 30 seconds of advice. So you get 30 seconds to provide some advice to home buyers. I'm going to get 30 seconds to provide some advice to home sellers.
30 seconds of advice for the home buyer.
I'm going to have her turn it in.
Okay.
All right.
Ready?
So you get 30 seconds. Ready, set, go.
My 30 seconds of advice, a little similar to last time. Look at your MLS every single day. Have a great agent who's going to do that for you. You may be at work. Let us do our job. Number 2, consider a new build. If you do consider a new build, get pre-approved right away. Don't wait. You will miss the bus. There's wait lists. And give us a call. Watch this video. Market changes every day. You don't want to miss what we have to say because we're doing this for you.
I think she might have got a second over, but that was actually pretty good. All right, I'm on the clock now. 30 seconds of advice for the Las Vegas home seller in 2021. May, let's go. All right, Mr. Home Seller, Mrs. Home Seller, listen to me. Here's my advice. Sell your house. If you're sitting on your home and going, it's too big for me, I want something smaller, it's too small for me, I want something bigger, let's do it now. We are going to get you more money than you think you can get. So if you call me and say, hey Joe, I'm thinking about selling my house, my address is 123 Main Street, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, comp's out at 375, hey Billy, we're going to get you 425 for your home. And it's just because the market is what it is. So call me.
Dude, Joe, you're literally like the Micro Machines guy. Like,
One
I don't know how you
yeah.
can talk that fast. It's crazy.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching, those who hung around. We're going to do this again in a couple of weeks, provide a market update. The bottom line is the market's healthy. It's a great time to buy. It's a great time to sell. Interest rates are low. If your definition of success is, I want a cheap home with low interest rates, you're going to be sad every single day. But if your definition of success is, I want a home that I love, a payment that I can afford, and an agent that works really, really hard for me, then the Joe Taylor Group will make that dream come true.
Totally. And the other thing is, one thing that I had to say today, I said, you know what? I need to be honest with you. I have to tell you what our battle is going to be like because I'd rather you be mad at me later than me disappoint you down the road. That's just something super important. Please trust that we know what we're doing.
She's good. Thanks for checking out.